Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, offer of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. And in this video, man, I'm going to talk about why independent women can't keep a man. What's up, JR Meadows? Why independent women can't keep a man. What's this? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be with me tonight, and I appreciate that. What's up, Evil Boy Genius? What's up? What's up, man? You know, let's see. This world. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, no doubt about it. A lot of chaos going on in this world, no doubt about it. Doesn't matter where you go out, either. You can't run from it. You can't escape. You can't escape the chaos. I have a question. What up? What's up, Evil Boy Genius? What's your question? If you got questions, I got answers. You're in the DMV. These hoes twisted. Say, if you're a woman and she told you she was raped while dating her, will you stick around or leave? If you're with a woman. How long you been with her? That depends on how long I've been with her. Two years? And what's the relationship like? Are y'all just dating? Or y'all going somewhere? Y'all planning on being together long term? If I'm planning on being with her long term, let me see. I would probably I'd probably stick it out. If I thought we were going somewhere long term, I'd probably stick it out. She probably needs somebody to talk to about that shit. You know, because a situation like that, if she was raped, that's like opening a can of worms. You know, people that's been molested and raped, you know, they kind of some people never talk about that shit. So sometimes you might need some help along with somebody else, some type of professional help, situation like that. You know, you need support, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what I would do if I was staying with her long term. You know, now if I knew I wasn't going to be with her long term, oh no, I'd roll out. I wouldn't. I feel sorry for her, you know, but it wouldn't matter. I wouldn't put too much thought into it if that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? That's a good question, though. That's a good question. Because there's a lot of women out here a lot of people that's been molested or a lot of people been molested, man, out here. A lot of people ain't been raped. But a lot of people been molested out here. Everybody got that Damn near everybody in everybody's family got that dirty ass uncle. Damn near everybody got a dirty ass uncle in their family. You know? Yeah, that's a good question though. Well, now let's get into what I wanted to talk about. The independent woman. It's really a myth, really. There's no such thing as an independent person, period. There's no such thing as an independent woman, period. But let's just get that out of the way. You know, I mean, and there's no such thing as a self-made person, period. Anybody that does anything on a massive level or even on a lower level or just above mediocre is a team involved. Could be 2 to 3, 5 people, whatever, or more. But to say that, this is like the only country that I can think of where women walk around like preaching independence. And then they throw it around and it sounds good in theory, but there's no substance behind it. It doesn't really mean anything. You just got a bunch of women talking about how independent they are. And as soon as something happened to them, now they're calling for your help. So you're not really independent, because if you're independent, you really don't need nobody's help or no support. That's what they say independence really means, but I just don't. I think a lot of people, a lot of women are good actors out here. That's what I think. So you got a lot of people, a lot of women will put on a good face, and they'll make it seem like they really got it going on. Like I don't really need certain people around. And then and even if someone does come around that's decent, they'll blow it. How many times have we seen this? How many times have we seen, or maybe this happened to you? How many times have you met a woman, or how many times have you observed a decent guy being around a woman, and you thought they was going to make a good couple, and the woman, she self-sabotaged everything, just blew the whole relationship because she was on some dumb shit. I have one that is career loss and complacent. I can't deal with this shit, and you have damn good points about these chicks being. Yep, you in the bar in Atlanta. This chick was just talking to independent shit about. Yeah, the independence. It's a facade. It's a myth. It doesn't. And why the hell anybody want to be independent anyway? I mean, if you say you want to be independent of your job, okay, I get it. If you say you want to be able to create your own economy and make your own money and have your own hours, I get it. But even still then, you still need help. You still need a support system. You can't be everywhere all at the same time. You need tools. You need people. You need a support system. So it doesn't really work like that. You can't be the lonely drifter. You can't be the lonely drifter. It don't work out like that. You can try to be the lonely drifter. But let's just say if you try to do everything by yourself And maybe you might have a spark for a certain amount of time. Maybe you might be doing pretty decent for a couple months, a couple years. But what's going to happen is if it's just you, then you become an easy target then. Because people are going to look at you, they're going to say, hey, who he rolling with? Who he rocking with? Who does he associate with? And if the answer is none to all of the above, then you become an easy target. I mean, people look at you like, what are you gonna do? You can't defend yourself. I mean, who's behind you? So being independent is really a joke. Really. It's just a joke, a fantasy, a facade. That's all it is. So whenever you hear a woman talk that independent crap, just get up and leave. You can call her bluff if you wanna entertain her or whatever. But because I do that every once in a while. I'll entertain and play along with a woman that talk the independent crap. And I'll be like, well, okay. I'll ask questions like, hey, what independence mean to you? And, they'll give some broad answer that don't make logical sense. It's not even practical. It's all based on emotions for the most part. And then I'll be like, well, do you ever need any help for anything? Maybe your car might broke down. Or I say, hey, you got a house? I say, you need any help to keep your grass cut? For your plants, if you got them? And she's like, yeah. So I'll say, well, how come you don't, if you're independent, how come you have to ask for help for all this stuff? And how come you're not in shape? How come you're not physically fit? That's just go all the way with it. I mean, that's if you gotta walk it like you talk it. Yeah. You gotta walk it like, yeah, that's a song too. The Migos. Walk it like you talk it. Yeah. So that's just go all the way with it. Get radical with it. If you really want to truly be independent. But it usually doesn't work like that. We got a bunch of actors out here. Some good, some not so good actors, I should say. A lot of people like to talk. A lot of people talk a good game, but most of the stuff they're not going to be able to back up. Because you have to keep in mind, the person that talks a lot is the weakest. Keep that in mind. Always remember that. The person that talks the most is the weakest. They hate it when you hit them right between the eyes. Yeah, that's true. The person that talks the most is the weakest. That's just what it is. The person that has to talk the most, in most cases, don't know what they're talking about either. That's just like if you ask somebody a question about something and they start rattling off a bunch of answers to your question, they don't know what they're talking about. See, a lot of people think people that talk a lot, that they're articulate, they're charismatic, and there's a time for that, no doubt about it. But I'm talking about in a personal, one-on-one conversation. If you ask somebody something and they just have to talk a lot, and they talking in circles, and they can't get to the point. You might not even understand what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. It. It's just so obvious to me today. When I meet a lot of these people. And this is why you have to ask people questions. If you ask the right questions when you're talking to somebody, they're going to tell you who they are. They're going to tell you what they believe. They're going to tell you how they really get down. And they're going to tell you, in most cases, how they live their life. And I don't care if this could be in print, text, email. You could be sitting down in front of the person. If you ask the right questions, you can learn a lot about women, people. That's just what it is. See, it's not really about it's not all about talking all the time. You have to be just as good as a listener as a talker. Yeah, I've mastered that. Like I've mastered asking women questions, and I'll just sit back and let them do most of the talking. And at the end of the night, or I don't know, when it's time to go, I mean, I pretty much know everything I need to know about the person. And I'm talking, it's the first time meeting somebody too. First time. Sometimes even if I'm sending an email to somebody and maybe we've been going back and forth for maybe a day or two. Sometimes within the email, I can tell what this person is really about. I can tell what type of person they are. It might be simple-minded. It might be maybe it might be see things. Maybe they might have a different perspective than me. It's not about intelligence all the time. It's much deeper than that. Not about IQ all the time either. It's much deeper than that. Morals is good, but their morals might not be like your morals. They might not see things the way you see it. See, a lot of women don't necessarily believe in the win-win situation. A lot of people don't. See, in America, one of the biggest problems with relationships in America is somebody always has to win and someone always has to lose. That's the thing. It's like you can't be wealthy in this country without somebody being poor. It can't happen. And see, that's the problem. That dynamic has to change if the social dynamic between the sexes are going to get better. Because a lot of women don't believe that they don't believe in the win-win. When a lot of men and women get together, it's like a social war between each other. One person is trying to ante up the other person. The other person is trying to get over on the other person. So whenever you have that dynamic in play, which it's mostly always in play in almost any environment you can think of. So it's always going to be people fighting on some level, because they want the upper hand. They're trying to get something out of you. They're not trying to give anything, because there's a good chance they don't got it anyway. But they always trying, most women you meet, most people you meet, they're always trying to get something out of you. It's that dynamic that plays out a lot. Most people meet, they trying to get something. They want more life because they want to take your freedom so they can have more freedom. So they want you to get them all the attention, give them all whatever they can get out of you to make their life easier, because most of the time they haven't figured out how to take care of themselves the way they would like. So now they're looking for somebody to do all the things that they can't do. That's why a lot of women will say, well, I'm not getting anything out of this relationship. And see, that's the wrong attitude to have, you know? So if you're running any woman that says she ain't getting nothing out of the relationship, you already know why she's there. So you need to get rid of her. You see, a relationship, when two people come together, regardless of the friendship, you know, two people, they're supposed to come together. And, you know, the idea is you should have something to give to the other person. And as a result, the persons involved should be better than they was before they got together, before they met. And then from there, you're supposed to be going somewhere. And that's the whole concept of a relationship, whole concept of friendships. But what's happened in this society? This society has prostituted a lot of relationships. What happens is capitalism came in and says, hey, if a man can't live up to a certain standard, he ain't no man. If a woman can't live up to a certain standard, if a woman doesn't look a certain way, she ain't a woman. That's what capitalism has done. It's prostituted the whole concept of relationships and friendships. So most people together today, you know, it's kind of like, if they can't get nothing out of you, they don't want to be around you at all. Period. So most people that's probably more than likely most people that's around you at this very moment, they have some hidden agenda. There's a reason why they call you or spend time with you or come to your house. It's not just because you're a cool guy or you're a good dude or you come from a good family. You know, or because they like you. No. Mostly, it's not like that. You know, for most guys, it's not like that. You know, only a small group of guys can pull that off. I'm gonna tell you right now. And a lot of guys don't like that. A lot of guys got a problem with that. But, you know, we live in a capitalistic society, you know. This is why when some guys lose the job, lose the contract, broke their leg if they're an athlete, or get traded to another team, when that usually happens, a lot of these guys, a lot of these women, they disappear. They're gone. Not only are the women gone, everybody that's around them are gone. People cut them off and move on to the next person. You know, because, you know, when things are going good, when things are going well, a lot of people are going to be around. But it ain't going to be like that forever. Everybody's going to have some bumps and bruises along the way. It doesn't matter who you are. But when them hard times come or difficult times come, people don't want to be around for those times. See, because that's bored. That's boring. Yeah, that's boring. And then a lot of people are so selfish, they be thinking that you're gonna ask them for something. That's that. They're afraid that you're gonna ask them for too much. And even in most cases, they probably can't do it anyway. But that's the psyche of a lot of people. You know? Sad but true. But hey, that's the world that we live in today, man. The world that we live in today. But you know, they that's why I said that the whole concept of the independent woman doesn't really exist. That's something that it's more like a media hype. Really. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Fantasy world. So that's that. That's that. Leaving the bar in Atlanta. They hate it when you hit them eyes. Oh, yes. So you see any changes in the near future? Changes in the near future? Relationships in this country? It's gonna be some changes. But it ain't gonna get better. It's gonna get worse. Yeah, it's gonna get worse for the majority of guys. Unfortunately. Because of technology. Yeah, because of technology. That's why it's gonna get worse. Because what's gonna happen is it's gonna be more apps, more websites, more social media websites, and more cell phones with apps, more ways to communicate. And what's going to happen is it's already happening already. A lot of people are socially awkward around people. You got some people out here, men and women, when they get around people, they are like awkward. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to talk. They get nervous. You know, their eyes start popping out their heads like they never met a stranger before. Because everyone's on the cell phone. A lot of people, I'm gonna say, in the 20s, especially, most of their communication is on the cell phone. Yeah, so it's. I mean, you got people. I know people personally in the 20s and 30s. They don't feel the need to meet someone in person. If they can't meet them online first and chat, then they'll get on the phone with them. If they don't do that first, if they can't do that first, I mean, they probably will never meet the person in person. You know, because That's like for the average 20 year old, 20 something year old or less or teenager. That's the ideal way, meeting someone from offline today. The time of trying to settle down with a loyal spouse is a wrap unless you find an honest woman. Well, this is what a true social experience. That's that. Yeah, man. You got some men and women in the 40s that's socially awkward. I know some of them. They want to meet people, but they just don't know how to. Yeah, they don't know how to really mingle. If you tell the average, I'm not gonna say average. If you tell I know some people right now. If I tell them, hey, to show up at a meetup, and I'm gonna teach you how to start an e-commerce website and make money. First thing they're gonna do is ask me who's gonna be there. Because it's like they're not used to being around people that they don't know. That makes them uncomfortable. Yeah. See, you would think living here in America that most people would be comfortable being around a diverse group of people that they don't know. But that's not the case. This country is very segregated. Every city in America is like this. Especially if you're up north. Up north is like very segregated. Pick any city. Pick any town up north. Now, people from up there will come down south. The only difference between as far as socializing versus up north and down south is up north, people don't really have to leave their area where they live at. Not even to go to the grocery store. At all. Now down south, people aren't really living on top of each other like they are up north. So everything is pretty it's scattered. It's spread out down south compared to up north. That's one of the biggest differences I've seen. So you go to Chicago, New York City, Boston, any of these towns. Everybody's on top of each other. All in New Jersey, all of these towns. It's like every group of people is like here, 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 here. And nobody really has to go in that neck of the woods to do anything. Because where they at, everything's convenient. Now, if you come down south, most towns and cities down south, it's not convenient at all. Unless you live in the city, like downtown, something like that. And that's how it is. That's why a lot of people that come from up north, down south, they ain't going to stay down here long. Most of them don't. They'll give it a try for 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 years tops. They go right back. Unless they just can't afford to live up there. But if they could afford to live up there, wherever they came from, they'll go back. Because everything's convenient, it's fast. They don't have to have a car. So you live down south, you gotta have a car. Yes, no doubt about it. You gotta have a car. Yeah. Some people might disagree with that, but hey, that's just my opinion. So it's pretty hard to be independent if you're down south. Quality man who makes 6 figures or more have options. Yeah, they do have options. These so-called independent ones. They down because they know they can't keep or tied. Unquote. No, it's no quality. Ain't no quality man is gonna put up with that crazy, any type of craziness, crazy talk. And let's just be honest. Most of the independent, so-called independent women, just most women in general, are not going to be able to get with the top guys. They might try, but they're not going to be able to get them. And most guys that make 6 figures, they not really trying to settle down with one woman like that. I mean, they look at it like, what for? So it's like, see, the money gives you options off top. That's why I always tell people, hey, get the money, make as much money as you can, because that gives you options. I mean, it makes perfect, practical, logical sense why you should try to make as much money as possible. See, I said this a couple videos ago. Every man needs to know how to make his own money outside of his job. I'm gonna say that one more time. Every man needs to know how to make his own money outside of his job. And I said that in a 2 videos ago. Facts, exactly. I said that in 2 videos ago, and I guess somebody didn't like it. I got a thumb down. So I guess somebody didn't like when I said that. Now think about this. Now, what type of guy would dislike that statement? Think about that for a second. What type of guy would dislike not being able to make his own money? You have to be a twist up individual. But I know there's some people out here like that. There's some people like being dependent on one person. No, worse than a beta male. No, worse than a beta male. There's some people out here. They like being a thumb sucker. They like getting the leftover crumbs because it kind of they have low self-esteem. They like being dependent, or they like being around, or they like being attached to certain people, certain organization. So they seek validation. There's some people that's like that. They seek validation. They got to have that validation from somewhere. Otherwise, they just gonna have a very difficult time functioning, and that's a problem. That's why you should never seek validation from anybody else. If you want some form of validation, just stand in front of the mirror and point. Yeah. You know, and then see once if you seek validation from other people, especially women, you're gonna always disappoint yourself. You're gonna keep disappointing yourself time after time, time after time after time. You know, it seems like most of these problems just only exist in America more than others. No, that's not true, Mikey. These problems exist in other countries too. They just don't talk about it as much as we do over here. Because over here we have quote freedom of speech. In these other countries, they don't have no freedom of speech. Like they really don't. Like really. Majorities of other countries, like they don't have no freedom of speech. The freedom of speech, you say the wrong thing in some of these other countries, you end up in jail. Like ASAP. I'm not talking 2 months from now or 6 months from now. I'm talking like ASAP. Like they come to your door, track you down. You know. See, you can say what you want to say in America, but there could be some consequences. But it doesn't have to be that it doesn't have to be to that extent though. Like you might end up in jail. It's usually something like some type of passive aggressiveness. Maybe you don't get promoted, maybe you don't get the job. Uh maybe people don't maybe you get blackballed, people don't want you around. You know, it's usually something like that. Maybe you don't get the deals you want, depending on the environment that you're in. Maybe you can't make maybe it's a glass ceiling for you because people don't like the topics that you talk about. So they feel like you might be a loose cannon. So that's usually a passive aggressive, you know, because that's a part of the status quo. Now these other countries, they don't really got no status quo. They just say, hey, this is how we do over here. I know this is a little off subject, but I wanted to ask you. Back in the day, who do you think was finer? Young Jada Pinkett? Young Halle? I'm a young buck, just want to know. I think Halle, man. Yeah, I think Halle. That's what I think. Well, how old are you, Mikey? Yeah, I think Halle. 24? Okay. Yeah, you are young. Where do you live? What is a better town to start living in GA? Savannah or Atlanta? What is a better town to start living in? Bipolar, Georgia. I don't know. Maurice, that depends on what are you trying to do when you come to Georgia. It depends. Savannah might be better in some ways. It really depends on why you coming. Why you want to come here? Call it bipolar, Georgia. Live a warmer life. You want to live a warmer life, go to South Florida. Savannah has a weird feel to, though. Thank you. Think about New York chicks. What about New York chicks? And how you gonna make money when you move here? That's the thing. That's the question. That's the number one question I always ask. How I'm gonna make a living before I move anywhere? I don't get caught up in that. The emotions and how it's gonna be to live there. No, the first thing I think about how I'm gonna make a living, how I'm gonna make money before I move anywhere. I don't think about that nightlife. I don't think about none of that shit. I don't think about the women. None of that. I'm gonna get that regardless. So I don't even think about. I'm a very practical person. I don't get caught up in the glitz and glamour and all the smoke and mirrors. I think about the economics first, then the nightlife, then the women, then the cars, then the clubs come next. So it really depends. But I tell you what, if you move here to Atlanta, you got to have a plan. You can't be free balling or freelancing or just think you're going to come here and try to wing it. Don't do that. I've seen a lot of people try to wing it coming here and they're not here no more. So I'm making it harder. Bills he passed, and what's your thoughts on net neutrality? It's kind of sucks for online businesses. I'm a high-tech guy. I have friends in an area. I've read in there, GA Tech is a natural place to go. Yeah, there's a lot of techies out in Alpharetta. You're right about that. Net neutrality, I'm not really worried about it. Really. But you know why I'm not worried about it? Because ever since I came online, things been changing from every year. Something changed, man. The site changed, YouTube changed, Facebook changed, Twitter, Google. I can go on and on. So I don't really worry about it. You're always gonna have to adjust, regardless of what happens, really. So the whole idea is, Maurice, use these sites as long as you can, but don't be dependent upon them, because you got print, you got offline marketing and advertising. You got people, like, you can still you can talk to people. Don't forget about that, Maurice. Don't get caught up. Don't be so dependent on just one form of communication, one form of marketing. You know what I mean? I like to break an independent. They tend to be rude. Yeah, some of them are. Talk sense. Yeah. So, Maurice, I don't get caught up in I'm never dependent on one form of communication or one platform or one website. Never. Because it's going to change. They change the rules all the time. And net neutrality, it's already affecting us already. Certain things you can't say. I mean, and if you're saying certain things in certain videos, you're not going to get the views. They're just not going to show it. So it's already happening. Even on Facebook, if you if you start a campaign on Facebook, and if they don't like what your ad is about, they actually say if you have too much text or you what's the other thing? Or if they don't like your image on your ads in Facebook, they say, hey, you're not gonna get that much. We're not gonna show it very often. They're actually saying this. You should get interviewed on the O'Shea Duke show. I should get interviewed on the O'Shea Duke show. How do I get interviewed on there? You got to be invited if someone wants to interview you. You know what I mean, Mikey? You got to get interviewed. You got to get an invite. I never got an invite. So how else do you see succeed in ATL? Fire income stream. What kind of side hustles do you see succeeding in ATL? Man, people into all kinds of stuff down here, man. Really. So it's not really about the hustle, the side hustle. It's more about you more than anything else. Do you have something that somebody is willing to pay you money for? You start with that one person. All right, Mikey. Make it happen. Yeah, but Maurice, it really depends on, it's more about the person than anything else. Especially here. Solid partner stuff like flipping houses. Yeah, you can do that. You can flip houses here. The market is houses is at one. I don't know about now, but I know at one point you could like buy a house that was like dirt cheap, like 10,000, less than 10,000 in some areas, and fix it up and sell it. People were doing that a lot at one point. I think like 5 years ago when I first got here. I don't know how it is now. But if you come here, if you don't know anybody, you better have money. That's a mistake a lot of people make. They'll come here, they don't know nobody, and they don't got no money. And that's why they got to get up out of here. I don't see them no more. They're gone. Because a lot of people come here, they think that they can wing it. They'll be like, oh, I give it my best shot. And 6 to 8 months to go by, I don't see them no more. I'll call them and I'll be like, yo, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a while. I'm like, oh man, I left there like 4 months ago. Only the strong survive here, man. Yeah, this ain't the type of town to try to wing it. You gotta have a plan. You come here, otherwise, you fuck around, you be homeless. And I'm not even, I'm laughing, but I'm serious. You come here, no money, you don't know nobody, and no job. That's a recipe for a disaster. You be homeless. What about independent? Well, what about them? It doesn't exist. Independent women doesn't exist. That was the whole purpose of me doing this video. Any woman that talks about being independent, it's a joke. It's laughable at this point. I never met anyone that was independent. Just because you got a job, or you got a car, or an apartment, or a house, that doesn't mean you're independent. You just bought some stuff that you're making payments on. So that don't got anything to do with independence. That's just dumb talk. You mentioned staying away from anything entertainment related or bars, restaurants, right? Staying away from anything entertainment as far as what? Why did I say that? You got to give me context on why did I say that. I mean, if you're an entertainer, well, knock yourself out. You should. I mean, if you're an entertainer, knock yourself out. Do what you do best. You got to give me context with that, Maurice. Why did I say that? Or how did I say that? All right, Mikey. We'll see what happens. Mention people living on tips. Oh, and when I said I was talking about waitress or whatever. Yeah, I mean waitresses. Look, you can't. During football season, it was peace, and the rest of the year. Yeah, a lot of women that work at a lot of these bars during football season, they make pretty decent money. But like right about now, they're struggling. That's facts. Yeah. But a lot of them think they can survive with that. I mean, how long are you gonna keep doing that? That was the whole point of me talking about it in that video. Because I met a lot of women that, they'll work at the bars and they get complacent. They get used to that. Think about it, every night they go to work, they don't know how much money they're going to make. Or in some cases, don't know how many days they're going to work this week. That was the whole idea of me talking about it. But, I mean, if them women, hey, if they work at the bar, make your money. But hey, how long are they gonna keep doing that? How long can they keep doing what they're doing? You gotta diversify your income somewhere else. You know? You gotta have more than one income here. You have to. I mean, you should have more than one income regardless of where you live, in my opinion. But I'm just saying, if you work at the bar here and that's your main source of income, you're not gonna be able to stay here very long. You're not gonna be able to live here very long. I'm tell you right now. That's it is what it is. Exactly like the NFL, not for long. Exactly. What part of land area do you prefer? South, north? Shit, man. man, I don't prefer none of it. To be honest, I'd rather be out in the suburbs, the outskirts. So I would say south. I would say south because I lived on the north side, uh, east side. I prefer south. No, Mikey. No, no, no. It's oversaturated with working people. People that work 9 to 5 jobs. But it's not oversaturated for the entrepreneurs. No, not at all. No. Some people, most of the people I met up here, they just playing around. They playing like they got something going on, but once you get to know them and once you start talking to them, you find out real quick they ain't doing nothing. They're just playing around. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. It really is. Do you see yourself moving like this headline hard to be when people want then? Uh yeah, I'm moving back to Charlotte. Hard to beat at 12 million people metropolis. Yeah, there's a lot of people here. I don't even know. I didn't even know it was 12 million people here. Shit. You know something that I don't know. Yeah, I'm going back to Charlotte, man. That's where I came from. Uh Man, that's a good question. Uh it really depends. It really depends, man. I think sometimes I don't think it really matters if it's a major if it's in a major city or city that's growing. But it really depends though. Depends on what type of business you're trying to start. Depends on what type of clients. Depends on who's your ideal client. Depends on who's your target market. Ashford then. Ashford, who's that? Or what's that, I should say. Ashford, North Carolina? I've never been there. So I can't I've never been there and I don't know anyone that's from there. So I can't speak about it. Where's that? Where's that? What town is that near? What's the next? What's the closest town to Ashford? That's near Raleigh or what? There's a lot of towns near Raleigh, in that Raleigh area, Chapel Hill area, that I've never heard of. It's way west. So what's that near? West would be like where? Well, Wilson, near Wilson in that area, or what's that other town out there? Uh, it's another. It's another town that's out there that A lot of people have been moving out there recently. Isn't there Goldsburg? Yeah, that's the name of that town. Isn't there Goldsburg? That's west. It's probably over there near Goldsburg, in that neck of the woods. Yeah, I've never been out there. When I come to North Carolina, I usually stay near the border, near the coast. You know, for I think like Fayetteville, Raleigh. Fayetteville is probably the furthest I've been away from Charlotte. I was warned to stay away from the triangle, but someone being very happy about it. What did they say? What did they say about the triangle? What did they say? Lots of money, but traffic is bad. Yeah. Am I going to BBQ? What's BBQ? Man, let me tell you what, Maurice. I always tell younger people, go where your skill set is in demand at. Go where the job's at that's a good fit for you. Go where you're wanted at, basically. It's like I tell a lot of young people, hey, go to Charlotte, bro. The barbecue. No, I don't eat barbecue. Hey, you got to go where the jobs are in demand at based on your skill set. Go where you can make a difference at. Go where the opportunities is at. See, a lot of people come here and it's oversaturated when it comes to jobs. So this is not a good place if you're looking for a job. This is not the place. I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're looking for a job, this is not the place to come. Don't come here if you're looking for a job. If you're looking for a job, go to Charlotte, Dallas, Texas, Raleigh. Go to them places if you're looking for a job. But don't come here if you're looking for a job. That ain't it is. You more likely gonna have a hard time. Now, if you got a job before you get here, okay, that's good. That's fine. Have the job before you get here. But see, a lot of people will come here and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna look around and see if I can find a job." I'd be like, "Yo, I know a lot of people that tried that. It just don't work out." You know, a lot of people come and go. This place is like a revolving door. People come and go. You see them for a couple months at some bar, watching football. And after the season over, they're gone. You don't see them no more. ATL have girls with controllers in their pants. I'm good. What? Okay. All right. All right, Maurice. Hold it down. And I'm about to sign off too. It's been real, fellas. I appreciate y'all. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.